From its origins in ancient alchemical traditions to its deeply ingrained presence in contemporary culture, alcohol stands as a paradoxical entity. It is a substance that provides temporary solace while simultaneously shrouding deeper realities. The bottle on your shelf holds an enigmatic history interwoven with ancient mysticism and transformative practices, a connection so profound that understanding it could forever alter your perception of reality. What remains concealed within the very essence of alcohol may challenge your understanding in ways you never expected. The term alcohol finds its linguistic roots in the Arabic language, where it was initially used to describe an exceptionally fine, powdered substance derived from antimony. This material was frequently employed as kohl, an application around the eyes that was believed to purify and enhance vision. This purification extended beyond mere physical sight, symbolically representing an enhanced ability to perceive beyond surface-level realities. Over the centuries, the meaning of alcohol evolved, coming to signify an essence extracted through meticulous alchemical processes, particularly distillation. This distilled essence, whether viewed through a material or spiritual lens, represented an elevated state, purified from its crude origins into a potent and refined form. Within the practice of alchemy, alcohol aligns with the fundamental principle of transformation, which is at the heart of numerous spiritual philosophies. Just as base substances undergo a process of refinement to extract their purest elements, the human soul is said to undergo a similar purification through disciplined spiritual practices. However, when misused or taken in excess, this distilled essence, meant to symbolize refinement, instead serves as a deceptive substitute for genuine spiritual evolution. It mimics the transcendence it was initially intended to inspire. The process of distillation, central to the creation of alcohol, closely mirrors the principles of spiritual alchemy. In the physical realm, distillation involves separating purity from impurity, resulting in a highly concentrated essence. Mystically, this process can be understood as a metaphor for the soul's passage through the trials of existence, striving toward purification and a closer connection with the divine. Yet, alcohol itself presents a curious contradiction. While it is the result of a meticulous refinement process, its consumption often fosters detachment rather than unity. The spiritual essence sought by alchemists and mystics alike is one of heightened consciousness, clarity, and a profound connection to the divine. Alcohol, as a physical substance, induces an altered state of perception and consciousness, but it remains a mere imitation of the true inner transformation achieved through disciplined spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and self-mastery. Rather than uplifting the soul, alcohol frequently serves to anchor it more deeply into the material plane. In various mystical traditions, the soul is often compared to a luminous flame, yearning to reconnect with its divine source. Alcohol, however, by its very nature, reduces the vibrational frequency of both body and mind, making it increasingly difficult for the soul to harmonize with higher spiritual planes. This creates an obscuring effect, veiling the soul's inherent connection to divine wisdom and universal truth. The altered states induced by alcohol give rise to an illusion of liberation. This fleeting sensation of freedom is not genuine transcendence, but rather a temporary escape from the burdens of material existence. Unlike meditative states, which elevate and expand consciousness, alcohol's effects dull the mind and tether the soul to lower vibrational energies, thereby restricting access to profound spiritual insights and intuitive clarity. One of the most significant spiritual implications of alcohol consumption lies in its impact on the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye in esoteric traditions. This gland is believed to be the gateway to heightened intuition and spiritual awareness. Regular consumption of alcohol inhibits its function, dulling one's perceptive abilities and severing the connection to inner guidance and divine wisdom. While spiritual disciplines focus on cultivating awareness, mindfulness, and sensitivity to subtle energies, alcohol disrupts these faculties, creating a formidable barrier to spiritual progress. Over time, the numbing effects of alcohol can lead to a pervasive sense of stagnation, confusion, and disconnection from one's higher purpose. The very awareness that spiritual seekers strive to cultivate is eroded, leaving them ensnared in a cycle of illusion and fleeting gratification. The repeated indulgence in alcohol fosters a detachment from higher states of consciousness, making it increasingly difficult to access deeper truths and insights. In Eastern philosophical traditions, alcohol is often associated with the concept of samsara, the cyclical nature of suffering and illusion. Samsara represents the endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth, characterized by attachment, desire, and suffering. The use of alcohol exemplifies this cycle in multiple ways. It is frequently consumed as a means of escaping pain or seeking pleasure, two primary forces that reinforce attachment and prolong suffering. The effects of alcohol inherently follow a cyclical pattern. Temporary euphoria is inevitably followed by a decline, prompting a desire for repeated indulgence. This pattern mirrors the broader cycle of samsara, where ephemeral pleasures are relentlessly pursued despite their inability to provide lasting fulfillment. Just as the soul remains bound to the karmic cycle until achieving enlightenment, individuals caught in habitual alcohol consumption become ensnared in a loop of indulgence and dissatisfaction. At its core, humanity's craving for intoxication reflects a deeper, often unconscious, longing for transcendence. The fleeting relief and altered state brought about by alcohol simulate the bliss and unity experienced through genuine spiritual connection. This yearning, however, is a distorted manifestation of the soul's inherent desire to reunite with its divine origin. Because alcohol is a physical, material substance, it cannot satisfy this longing. Instead, it acts as a counterfeit, offering momentary escape while deepening the soul's detachment from its true essence. Indulgence in alcohol can become a substitute for the inner work required to attain lasting spiritual fulfillment. This dependency fosters a false sense of security, diverting individuals from the path of true self-discovery and transformation. The process of spiritual awakening requires recognizing this misplaced yearning and redirecting it toward practices that offer authentic transcendence. By turning inward and embracing disciplines such as meditation, chanting, devotion, and conscious self-discipline, one can attain the bliss and enlightenment that external substances can only poorly imitate. This shift in focus transforms the cycle of addiction into a profound journey toward liberation and self-realization. In its essence and historical significance, alcohol embodies a profound spiritual paradox. While its alchemical roots and symbolic associations connect it to refinement, purification, and transcendence, its misuse frequently leads to entrapment in lower vibrational states. The teachings of great spiritual masters consistently emphasize awareness, clarity, and inner connection as the true keys to liberation, qualities that alcohol actively diminishes. To break free from the cycle of desire and illusion that alcohol perpetuates, one must come to recognize the soul's ultimate longing, the yearning not for momentary escape, but for eternal union with the divine. This profound realization marks the outset of a transformative odyssey, shifting the unconscious yearning for intoxication into a deliberate and conscious quest for spiritual enlightenment. Before we delve further into this profound exploration, take a moment to pause. Please consider subscribing and enabling notifications, giving this post a like, and sharing it with anyone who might benefit from its insights. The revered Sufi poet and mystic, Rumi, frequently spoke of intoxication in his poetic compositions. However, his references were largely allegorical, symbolizing the divine ecstasy that arises from spiritual union. Throughout his verses, wine often represents the boundless love of the divine, an ethereal elixir that elevates the soul to realms of unrestrained joy and profound connection. He eloquently expresses, "Be intoxicated with love, for love is all that exists." Rumi presents a stark contrast between this divine intoxication and the deceptive refuge of physical inebriation. He cautions that while earthly wine may offer a momentary escape, it ultimately results in spiritual stagnation, dulling the clarity required to perceive deeper truths. To Rumi, true intoxication does not stem from material substances, but from a wholehearted surrender to the divine beloved, allowing the soul to transcend the limitations of the physical world. Within the Sufi tradition, the metaphor of drunkenness frequently conveys the dissolution of the ego and the embrace of divine unity. Physical alcohol, however, is regarded as a feeble and hazardous imitation of this exalted state, luring the seeker into an illusory experience that only tightens their entanglement in worldly existence. Osho, a contemporary spiritual luminary, placed great emphasis on awareness and the practice of living fully in the present. In his teachings, alcohol serves as a formidable obstacle to mindfulness. He elaborated that alcohol numbs the senses and detaches individuals from the raw reality of their existence, fostering an artificial sense of liberation. Osho often asserted, "Awareness is the key to transformation." According to him, alcohol erodes awareness, rendering one incapable of perceiving the true nature of their being. He likened alcohol to an anesthetic, a mechanism people employ to dull their pain rather than face it head-on and transcend it. In his view, genuine freedom arises from self-inquiry, embracing the discomfort of inner growth, and expanding one's consciousness through disciplines like meditation. For Osho, the journey of mindfulness necessitates complete presence, and any substance that distorts cognition hinders the seeker's capacity to progress spiritually. Paramahansa Yogananda, the esteemed yogic master and author of Autobiography of a Yogi, emphasized the importance of self-discipline and the cultivation of spiritual clarity. He cautioned that alcohol compromises the mind's ability to focus and weakens the fortitude essential for spiritual practice. Yogananda elucidated that the human mind is inherently restless, much like a pond disturbed by the wind. The consumption of alcohol intensifies this restlessness, making it increasingly difficult for practitioners to still their thoughts and access the deeper states of meditation necessary for divine communion. He profoundly stated, "Intoxicants disrupt the harmony between body and mind. They obscure the inner light that guides the soul toward liberation." For Yogananda, the path to enlightenment demands mastery over the senses and the cultivation of inner resilience. Alcohol, by distorting perception and diminishing self-restraint, emerges as a significant impediment on this sacred journey. Ancient spiritual traditions consistently warned against the use of alcohol, recognizing it as an obstacle to inner growth. In Buddhism, refraining from intoxicants is one of the 5 precepts, underscoring its vital role in preserving clarity and ethical conduct. Similarly, Hindu scriptures such as the Manusmriti admonish against alcohol, associating it with the erosion of self-discipline and moral decay. In Sufism, while wine is employed metaphorically to describe the rapturous love of the divine, physical wine is explicitly discouraged. It is perceived as a distraction, pulling the seeker away from Tawhid, the ultimate unity with God. Jalaluddin Rumi, the great mystic, often used the imagery of wine to depict the overwhelming embrace of divine love. Yet he emphasized that true intoxication arises from spiritual devotion rather than from substances. In Gnostic Christianity, worldly wine symbolizes attachment to material indulgences and distractions. Gnostic scriptures emphasize the necessity of vigilance and purity, warning that physical pleasures, including intoxication, divert the soul from its divine purpose. The true wine, according to these texts, is gnosis, the deep spiritual knowledge that liberates the soul from the cyclical nature of suffering. Alcohol occupies a paradoxical position within sacred traditions, simultaneously representing both divine communion and worldly temptation. In the Bible, for instance, wine is a fundamental element of the Eucharist, symbolizing the blood of Christ and the promise of eternal life. However, excessive indulgence is sternly condemned, as seen in Proverbs 21. Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whoever is deceived by it is not wise. This dual symbolism underscores alcohol's ability to either connect or disconnect the soul from its spiritual essence, depending on the context and the intention underlying its use. In alchemical and mystical traditions, wine frequently signifies the spiritual elixir, an agent of transformation that elevates the soul. This mystical wine is not a literal beverage but a metaphor for divine grace, which imbues the soul with profound joy and insight. The peril lies in mistaking physical wine for its spiritual counterpart, seeking divine intoxication through material means. Divine intoxication, or spiritual inebriation, refers to the overwhelming bliss and ecstasy experienced in states of profound union with the divine. This state surpasses ordinary consciousness, saturating the soul with boundless love, wisdom, and joy. Mystics across different traditions have described this transcendental experience as the pinnacle of the spiritual path. For instance, Rumi speaks of being drunk on the wine of love, a condition where the soul dissolves into the infinite ocean of the divine presence. This form of intoxication does not deaden the senses. Rather, it awakens one to the intricate interconnectedness of all existence. Physical intoxication induced by alcohol is but a feeble shadow of true spiritual inebriation. While the former dulls the senses and provides an illusion of euphoria, the latter expands awareness and leads to authentic bliss. Genuine spiritual intoxication necessitates no external substances. It emerges through dedicated inner work and complete surrender to the divine. Throughout history, mystics have imparted wisdom on how to attain this exalted state through profound disciplines such as meditation, devotion, and selfless service. The true path to ecstasy lies not in fleeting external stimulants, but in the deep and unwavering pursuit of divine union. Meditation serves as a powerful method for calming the restless mind, allowing one to tap into the profound and sacred presence that resides within. Through this practice, individuals cultivate inner stillness, enabling them to transcend the distractions of everyday life and enter a state of deep spiritual awareness. Devotional activities such as chanting, singing hymns, or engaging in heartfelt prayer create a bridge between the physical and the divine, fostering a sense of unity and alignment with higher consciousness. These sacred rituals, practiced with sincerity and devotion, have the ability to elevate the soul, dissolving barriers that separate us from the divine essence. Acts of selfless service, rooted in love, generosity, and compassion, provide another profound path towards spiritual awakening. When one dedicates themselves to serving others without expectation of reward, the ego begins to dissolve, making way for a more expansive and enlightened perspective. This selfless offering of kindness opens the heart, allowing divine grace to flow unhindered, enriching both the giver and the receiver. In these moments of pure generosity, we experience a glimpse of our true nature, one that is boundless, interconnected, and radiant with love. The renowned Persian poet Hafiz masterfully encapsulates the essence of spiritual ecstasy and surrender in his timeless words. I am a hole in a flute that the Christ breath moves through. Listen to this music. His poetry conveys a deep truth, the beauty of completely yielding to divine will, permitting its grace to move effortlessly through our being like a harmonious melody. To surrender in this way is to become an instrument of the sacred, allowing its wisdom, love, and light to manifest through us in ways beyond our comprehension. Now is the moment to lift the veil that obscures our true nature, to shatter the illusions that keep us confined, and to step into the divine connection that has always been ours to reclaim. The world is filled with distractions designed to keep us unaware of our higher calling. Yet those who seek the truth will always find it. The journey of spiritual awakening requires courage, commitment, and an open heart, but the rewards are immeasurable: peace, clarity, and an unshakable connection to the infinite source of all that is. If you have stayed with us this far, it is a sign that you are ready to embrace the next phase of your spiritual evolution. The universe has guided you here for a reason, and now it is up to you to take the next step. Embrace this moment, awaken to your inner divinity, and embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. Subscribe now and share this message with someone who is searching for deeper meaning. Together, We can unveil the hidden truths they never wanted us to uncover and illuminate the path to spiritual freedom.